What is up, everybody? Gonna get started here momentarily. Say hi in the chat, and I will say hi as well. And we are up and running. Where did my drink go? I got a drink of water, and of course I misplaced it. Oh, there it is. I'm going to let people filter in. Like I said, say hi in the chat. And I'm going to make a news post about this. Let's see here. Alrighty. A rare Saturday stream. Hello, Coder Kushal. And let's see here. Yeah, we got a couple. I think I'll do this on Twitter as well. All right, sweet. Hello, Tech Hacks and Tricks, Zenin, is that how you pronounce that? I don't know. Muhammad, what is up? Sahu, Web Dev. All right, we're getting some activity. Okay, let's just get started right away. All right, my blog site. Let's check this out. Oh, by the way, let me just do a quick introduction of the show in case you're new to this. It's a live UI UX show. You submit to me in the Discord server. All the instructions are in the YouTube description. You submit your design, and I will give my thoughts about it on what can be improved. All right, very simple. Alcohol delivery app. Oh my God, I love that idea. All right, let's get rocking here. So the first one is coming from Panisa. That's I'm just gonna say Panisa. That's probably not how you pronounce it, but that is okay. What is this, by the way? My blog site. All right, it is a blog site. All right, let's check this out. First of all right, not enough contrast here where it says search blogs, and this whole input field needs to stand out more. More contrast against the background it's sitting on. Explore. That's a good call to action though. Welcome to Annex Coder, next generation coding tutorials. I think at a larger resolution like this, you don't want all this type just going off. So you want to create a container, a max width of some sort, and that way you don't have that issue where it's just a big run-on sentence or something like that. But for the most part, this is fine. Of course, you're going to want more blog posts. I'm assuming this is just brand new. This page is actually pretty good. I notice how it's centered here at least. So that's pretty cool. You know what I would do is make these bold based on which section you're currently at in the article. So, or underline it. That way we have a visual indicator letting us know where we're at. Pretty solid. Next up. I would wait on having this pop up right away. Let a few seconds pass for this pop up, because it's just like you're cluttering the UI, and we're not even sure what's happening too much, and then it just pops up like or it did rather. I already hit X, but yeah, you don't want that. Honestly, when it comes to these little cursor pointer follower thingies, especially if it's a high contrast like this, I wouldn't advise doing that. Maybe something really minuscule, or just not doing anything at all. It just feels like something stuck to my cursor. I'm like, get off. Clearly you see large issues with gaping white space right here. I'm sure it's not as bad when we get in closer, which it's not. This is too much white space here though. So it looks like you're going to want to fill things out more, increase the size, or containerize, max width a little bit more so than what you're doing. This is kind of cluttered here together. Get in touch, being real close to this type right here, and then these three beneath it. I would kind of like to have a little bit more spacing there. More spacing here underneath feature projects, because look, featured projects in this COVID-19 tracker, that title, these two different, they're like almost styled almost exactly the same. So there's a lack of visual hierarchy there. So I would also increase the white space on the inside, or the padding on the inside of these containers, because it's pretty close up against there. So definitely think about that. I don't like this center line about me, and then right here to the left is a left align text. I would prefer just to take this about me and put it right here, or all the way to the very left. And these fields are going to need to have more contrast. Usually achieve that with a border or something. All right, overall not bad. Next up, all right, just looking at how it's responsive. All right, about works contact. I like the font. What's the font is that? It's a Montserrat. I would increase the size of this for this viewport quite a bit, just to fill out what you have here, because again, you have large areas of white space down here. About me, that is real small. Like it's almost getting lost completely. So boost these sides up, make them bold, make the buttons and the text itself a little bit larger as well. Some alignment issues here. Having this indented just doesn't look good. Just put them on the same column, both of those. Same thing with this here. Yeah, it seems like most of the text overall is quite small. So I would just work on fixing that up. Yeah, there's a lot of white space here. Next up, JVS, who is my admin and partner on designcourse.com, my coder. Let's check this out. This is what he's been doing when he's not working on design course. Unreal. All right. Calculating the fourth dimension. Well, let's go back here. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, I expand this. All right. Vivid, about, source, go to app, play with Vivid. Play hardcore Pong competitively with your friends and mates. Join now. All right. Play a game, match history, join channel, kind of Discorded-ish, if you will. This is all solid though. Yeah, this is quite solid from what I see in terms of design. I don't really have anything to say negatively about it. And I assume this is probably just the only page going on here. So, all right, cool stuff. Very good, JVS. Next up is another. Wait. I already did this one. This is a real estate website that you couldn't link properly for me. Let's see here. All right. So, a few things happening here. First of all, this photograph where it's blurred out, kind of darkened, along with this illustration on top of it, it's just too much happening. You see multiple areas where colors are clashing, like with this green and this turquoise, and then with this background color. It's just too busy. What I would advise to do is just completely get rid of it. Don't even use that. And then, I'm not sure how you have this area structured here, but MD6, can we change that to like 12? There we go. That right there is already a big improvement based on what was already there. Contact I'm not quite sure about having contact as your primary call to action. It seems like before somebody wants to contact you, they want to learn more about what's happening here. I don't know what it is. It's a real estate website apparently. So, you know, browse listings or something like that would make a lot more sense than just a contact button. This stuff's a little bit better in terms of design. Some of the sections that I'm seeing here. But up here, based on what we had, which is this area, it does need some improvement. Also, these hover states with the green not working, and also I would probably, in terms of design, it's good that you're indicating on hover that something's changing, but I wouldn't do this outer glow. It just kind of looks strange. Instead, you could do some sort of border or something like that, and I wouldn't also make it green. Usually you kind of want to highlight things. You don't even have to change the color. You could just put an underline if you wanted to, and I think that would be more effective. All right. Sir, please make a video on Three.js. Well, I have a bunch of them already, so you can definitely check those out if you haven't yet. All right, next up, thank you for the super chat though. Alrighty, I like the logo here already, and I like the colors. All right, let's translate this. What the hell is happening here? Your great ideas, our excellent designs. I actually kind of like that headline. I like the logo. Cool abstract sort of illustration here. I know this wouldn't pass the white on green, the WCAG content guidelines, but still, and I'm also not sure about changing the width. I mean, I suppose it's okay, but this is all pretty solid here from what I see though. I'd probably get rid of this underline, that big black underline. No, I think it's more of just a distraction. I would definitely try to put these over here, this one over here, just have one row instead of having this down here and this down here. You have enough room. You could even do like a carousel type thing if you wish, or some type of slider. All right, overall pretty solid. I like it. Next up, linker.co. Linking youth to a brighter future. Alrighty then. The call to action is more of an afterthought. The hover state should be the default state, like this right here, and make it bold and a little bit larger. That's what I would like to see, the default state. This right here kind of gets lost because obviously there's not enough contrast because it's only just like a few pixels of white as opposed to completely being white in contrast to the background. So I would move that up here, make that a little bit larger, and then like this, leave that the default state. A little bit too close here with these pictures. I would try to rearrange those so that they're more confined over their own area over here if you're going to use that. So when people take their landing pages like this, you have different sections of content. So this is your hero section. This down here is like an our mission or a mission statement section. And then we have our latest update section. And you don't have to necessarily use the same background color for all those. A lot of people, they sort of do this where it's like you have the hero section very prominent up here. But then if you use the same exact background color for this section, it just throws off the design in my opinion. This right here, this background, you could still use a background color, but I wouldn't use this one up here. You've already like kind of introduced them to the site, and then it kind of just repeats right here, and it's going back and forth between this white, blue, and it just kind of makes it like a checkered almost. So use something else here maybe something real light. Like for instance, you could do in the same hue, but just a very tint. Let's see here if I can find the color. Sometimes depending on the CSS, well, let's see if I could just change it right here. Background. No, I can't change the background color apparently. But either way, a really light toned or desaturated blue with darker text on top could work. Also right here, there's issues with alignment with your buttons. It's just everything here is aligned to this left column, and then things are indented slightly over here, so I would reposition these buttons as well. A lot of white space between them. It feels very disconjointed. Also, first name, last name, email, I cannot see that. I could barely even see that. Someone who really had issues with vision, they wouldn't even know. Like, check out my videos on contrast and UI design, and that will help you greatly. All right, next up. All right, so the big issue here is scale based on the type. Too small. I mean, if I'm looking at your site, you know, out here, so you can really fill this up a lot more. So increase that. More white space between your nav items here. It's really cramped in. So I would double it or triple what's already here between each of these elements, the nav items. All right, so I don't understand what this is. Is this a banner, like a website banner or something? Okay, so this is really confusing to me because I'm not sure if this is part of what you offer, or is this some type of like Google AdSense banner or something? I mean, that's what these two look like here. It's very strange to me. I'm not sure what's happening here. I would remove these completely. Because I don't know what they are. Whoa, 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 what is happening here? All right, so advertisement, get rid of those advertisements. Nobody's gonna be, don't even use those. I mean, they're massive too. I mean, you can have ads, but like these huge banners right here, don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. These card backgrounds, I mean, they need work. I mean, we're talking about multiple colored gradient stops here. No. You need to join designcourse.com. If you haven't gone there yet to put in your email to be notified when it releases, do so right now and then become my first member. We're doing a pre-launch end of next month, hopefully. All right. All right. What is this? It's like a guest book. I remember using guest books like in the year 1999, I think. Awesome. All right, keep at it. I hope you become a student and you join the mentor program as well. All right. Yes. Major issues here. Wait, is that the Slack logo thing? Didn't the Slack logo do that animation? Let me know in the comments. If so, that's going to be an issue. We have issues here though. Major white space. Too much. Way too much. A lot of people today, with the reviews I've looked at so far, have issues with white space apparently. Just too much of it. Usually there's not enough of it. Yeah, I wouldn't be using like this Slack loading icon there. Way too much white space. You're gonna want to fix that. At least put things down. There's also issues with alignment. If you move this stuff down here in the center of this particular light area where the background's light, it would look a lot better than what it is. And things need to be larger in order for this to work. This little tiny little hello just kind of stuck up there. Gotta refigure this out. Oh, we got some glass morphism. All right. Still though, with all of these background elements, the content gets lost. You know, this is just kind of lost. This shouldn't be grayed out by default. I shouldn't have to hover over this just to see the full contrast. So there's issues there. This big random border here in the middle, don't need that. This kind of just feels sloppily put together with everything just kind of center aligned in this box. Even if you're gonna have the box, at least put some more white space in it and around it. So the padding's already there, I see, of 20 pixels. But if I put like 3M, like that's gonna be better. That's gonna be a lot better. Maybe we'll text align left it. All right, and then I would also come out here and hey there, we should put it like an extra line break. Okay, that's not working, but hey there, it should be a line, like some white space, and then I am, you know, should start down here. This is a no-no, so obviously you have issues here because this, based on this background, you can't see where it says Python barely. You need to account for all this stuff. All right, let's continue on. Alcohol delivery app. Press play. Cheers, I like the name. All right, looking at this. White Claw. All right, so it looks like that's all it is so far. So having a gallery here is cool, but what I would do, this little search magnifying glass icon, I would have underneath, like underneath where it says beer, liquor, seltzer, wine, this little navigation, underneath that I would have an actual text field with a search icon, because that's gonna probably be one of the most used elements, I would think. People just, there's so many different types of alcohols, people will probably just wanna search for it, so I would put a search bar there. Outside of that, from what you have so far, looks pretty decent to me, but again, there's not much here, but yeah, for what it is, not bad. Next up, oh, we got some animation. Whoa, this person's like looking into my soul. Let's refresh this. All right, student, noob gamer. Alrighty. I am blah 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 from blah blah blah. I love to explore new technologies. All right. All right, so here's what the problem is I didn't have like really any clue about what this site's about. When you just say student and noob gamer, it's like, well, I mean, I don't really get it. It seems like you're based on your projects. You code stuff. Maybe you're a programmer. You need to address a little bit better rather than just saying student and noob gamer, and utilize the space a little bit better, I would say, because I'm just kind of confused about what is happening now. In terms of actual design, it's actually pretty decent. Where have I seen this before? I've seen this exact form before. Yeah, I remember seeing it before. I don't know. Either way, it's actually not bad. It's just more of like instead of a UI thing, it's a UX thing where we need to address those issues. Next up, Cafe King. All right, refresh. All right. I'm I would probably get rid of where it says Cafe King. Like, that's unnecessary. We already have the logo here. They know the name. Focus on maybe just making this the only headline, maybe with a sub headline. Make it larger as well. Coming down, there's just kind of like a lack of white space. There's issues with alignment. One of my pet peeves is when you have two columns, like this little icon and then this text, and then centering the text. Either left align, or I would say left align in this case, this text rather than centering it. And more white space for sure. When you do this sort of like parallax thing here, and especially in this context where there's a lot of elements around it, it just seems so cluttered and just way too much stuff is just happening. So I would really try to simplify things. And this seems like to be a fluid design, which it is, with a little bit of white space on the sides, but at a certain point you just need to make a max width and try to center stuff. Otherwise, these really long cards, I mean, they just become, so we need to account for that. So yeah, definitely some work to do. Join designcourse.com when it comes out. Okay, next up, front-end developer. All right, person's name, creative web and graphic developer. What's a graphic developer? I've never heard of a graphic developer. I've heard of a graphic designer. Interesting. This is a little bit too small for my liking. Also, I could tell it's gray, but the background is like this bluish. So let me fix this sub headline here for you. Let's take the font size. All right, there we go. 1.2 rem units is fine, and color. All right, so I changed it to white temporarily, but if we take this, we use the background. So now it's the same color as the background, but what we're gonna do is we're gonna tint it a lot. Maybe right there. So now it looks a lot better. I would also do margin bottom. 3M units. And then make these contact me, the download CV, bigger. They're too much of an afterthought. So now if I refresh, you'll see the original. And that was just way too small. And the color doesn't really work well. Now also, notice this. There's nothing here, it's a big blank spot. Like, that should be showing up, not just when I scroll down. I kind of like this layout, but I would take this and put it right here and make it start right in this column. Also, less line height on this element. Too small of type down here. Same issue with the color as well up there. Next up is all right, refresh. First of all, having your illustrations really close to your navigation, not good, especially when you have all the space down here. It's not balanced out. So vertically center these elements right here. Next up, a little bit less line height on this. Again, take all this section, this whole section, center it. Notice the white space here versus all the white space here. I would probably get rid of this border. It's just unnecessary. Not too bad. Interesting colors you're working with here. But yeah. Just a few, different comments. On the most part, everything seems like, there's no major issues that I'm noticing here. All right, sweet. Continuing on. Why does it say there's 288 concurrent viewers? There was just like 168 like 3 minutes ago. Anyhow, Figma. Let's check this one out. Do you guys want me to rate these and like ask you to rate them as well? Because I usually do that, but I'm not doing that now. Let me know if you want me to. Biggest issue with this design, I like the colors and stuff. Good contrast. The biggest issue is this form right here, these form elements. These form elements, where it says name, email, phone, like these should at least be bold, because I have a hard time kind of like really spotting them. And then also, if not bold, make them black, and then that way you wouldn't have to bold them. So I would change that for sure. Okay, I'll just review them. That way we can get through more of them quicker. Seems like your type is quite large in areas. And again, I know we're looking at a prototype, so sometimes it's hard to gauge what it would truly look like. Although up here, look how large this stuff is, and then get down here, it's like there's an imbalance in terms of your font sizes. This isn't too bad right here. This is pretty effective. Hey, who wants to see my landing page for designcourse.com, like when it launches? It's almost finished. I'll show you guys if you want me to. Yeah, overall this isn't too bad. I don't like this blue right here. It doesn't really match the rest of the colors though. All right, people want to see it. Now it's not 100% done yet, and of course this is in Figma, so it's not realized yet. I just hired somebody to do the HTML and CSS for me. I'm so busy. It's going to be in Tailwind. Let me get it up. I'll show you some of the other screens real quick. I'm on a 4K monitor. Yeah, the thing is though, when you're, even if I'm a regular user. I'm on a 4K monitor. Some people look at websites on 4K monitors with their browser almost maximized, so you have to account for that, and the user shouldn't have to like magnify or zoom their view in the browser just to get an idea of what it looks like. All right, so here are some screens here. This is for the UI game. You get it? U-E-Y-E, UI, like you're eyeballing it because you're trying to learn. And most of you know about the game that I'm going to be releasing soon. It's a free game of interactive tests. Actually, you guys can try it out right now. It's not finished yet, but all the tests are there. We have, like this right here hasn't been created yet. This is just going to be a pop-up that shows up when a person first visits it, and then they'll click start playing and they can start playing the game. At the end, this little pop-up's going to happen. It's going to show you how many points you got out of the total points. I'm not sure how many total points like your person can get yet, but if you do want to try going there, go to right here. So there's 15 different tests. You can take the game right now. I just put it in the chat. But again, it's not 100% finished, but I'm gonna need all of your help because I wanted to hit big on Product Hunt. So that'll be sometime later next month. All right, what else is there? This is the account page. This is gonna be created here. So there's gonna be just a general products. So this is gonna be like billing history. So it shows the courses. I'm gonna have like multiple courses in the future, and we're gonna probably do a front-end dev course as well with an interactive way to learn HTML and CSS. It's gonna list out your subscriptions. So by the way, the UI UX design course, one-time fee of 99 bucks. Then you can add on top of that if you wanted the mentor program where when you submit your design challenges, I will review them and give you feedback and even do iterations based on your Figma design that you submitted. That's going to be $90 every 3 months for as long as you can cancel anytime. If you work through it fast enough, you could get it all done within 3 months. So you get all of my feedback for $90 over about 15 different projects that you submit. So very cool. Billing history over here. What else is there? Oh, just some stuff like autoplay next lesson for the video player portion. This is going to be the order form. It's like a pop-up modal sort of thing. So yeah, by default, UI design course, $99. A person can choose to toggle on and off Design Mentor if they want access to that. If you choose to not buy that initially, you can buy it after like joining and taking the course at any time. Create your account, false state, might add chapters to this. And then here's the landing page coming up. All right, so I actually made this. This is a screenshot of Three.js. And so this whole thing animates right here that I created. And so does this background. Actually, I think it's running right now. Let me show you. Now it's not, this is my quick HTML. It's not centered, and because it's gonna be structured differently once we get in there. But let me refresh this. Look at that. That's a Three.js shader making the floor kind of like wavy. And then this is stuff was created in Blender. Probably gonna have another call to action here, but yeah. And so let me show you more of this before I continue on, because this is a long design. All right, so underneath here, we have just some comments or testimonials rather. Under here, a comprehensive approach to UI design, video, UI design tests, mentor. These things are gonna, I'm gonna have better quality like asset things like here, kind of like from the top up there, and they're gonna subtly float in the thing. Interactive UI tests. So this is just gonna be like a CSS animation kind of showing like what the UI tests are all about. Design Mentor kind of just goes over the different steps of how Mentor works. More testimonial section. A curriculum roadmap. So we get into fundamentals, component design, layout design, designing for desktop, designing for mobile, and then putting it all together. Here's more specific stuff about all the different things that are covered. This right here is going to be a background image of myself. I don't have that yet. And then I'll be over here. And then, yeah, join the pre-launch, join today, and that'll launch that pop-up that you saw. And that's it so far. All right, that's your sneak peek. Let's continue on. Somebody, what is this in terms of US dollar amount? I have to make sure, oops, what the hell happened here? That these are $5 equip. Sorry, man. I'm pretty certain in my the YouTube description here, it says it has to be at least a $5 equivalent, $5 US equivalent in order for me to review your design, just because that's a rule that we instated. So if you want to send $4.54 or 50 more cents, then I will do your review. But the reason we do this is because so many people were sending in super chats, and I wasn't able to hardly get into all the regular ones who didn't do super chats. All right, sorry about that. Next up, let me see here. I completely lost my spot. So I did these, I did that. Not sure if I did this one. I didn't do that one. Did I do this one? Sorry, I'm just like, yeah, I did that one. Okay, so this is the next one. Let me get it on the other monitor. Listen, if you want your design to be reviewed, then you have to be in my Discord server. And once I announce it, you got to submit it fast enough or just wait. Here we go. Refresh. Oh, by the way, for a design course, I am going to have parity pricing. So, all right. Issue here, again, on this larger resolution, we could definitely use a container, pushing things in towards the center. This is a good illustration though, that's working pretty well. We got Bill Gates up here. Yeah, he kind of gets lost in the background, so I would definitely add like a 3 or 4 pixel white border around it so it doesn't get lost. This start chat here gets lost as well because it's blue on blue essentially. I know it's a gradient, but still it kind of gets lost a little bit too much. Too much line height here. I'm not sure why so many people have so much line height, or leading as it's called. So like line height, like maybe like 1.25 em units. I think that looks a lot better and a lot less disconnected. Your email. So it doesn't make sense to have a text field this large just for an email. You could definitely put start chat over here, but even the call to actions don't even make sense. Like Rocket Chat gives you the power of connecting. You put in your email and then you hit start chat or record. It just seems strange to me. Let's continue on. A little bit more white space inside the cards. These watermarks here kind of make it hard to read this text on top, so I probably wouldn't do that. Like I said, more white space here. They'll instantly look better. Like if I just show you real quick. Look how much better that looks. So this is with the padding added. This is without it. See how it just doesn't look as good? More white space for sure. All right, that's enough with that one. Continuing on, this one. All right. All right, so this is, it's kind of hard for me. Sometimes when I look at designs, it's hard, like I can feel that something's off, but it's hard for me to immediately identify what the issue is. I kind of want to say that this whole form right here looks really big, like just unnecessarily large. Like you took it on the parent container and put on CSS transform scale 1.4 or something. It seems like it just needs to be scaled down a little bit more. And then that will help balance it out a lot more in relation, especially over to contrast to this stuff over here. Outside of that, this is a very, I like this, it's like a new, it's a relatively new trend in terms of card design. This is pretty solid. Yeah, all this is pretty good. Ah, glass morphism. I spotted it again, right there, out in the wild. All right, overall quite solid, I have to say. Blog book. All right, so this kind of, even though this is pretty large, it still gets hidden. I might want to take this background and make it darker, or make this a little bit larger. Find out more. Again, this kind of almost gets hidden. I make that a little bit larger. Also, the About Portfolio blog, you know, I would really like to see just this blog book over here and this section over here moved into the center, perhaps like right here, and then like over here, because they're way too much of an afterthought. Over here, it's not so much of a big deal, like on a large phone or a tablet. When we get out here, it's just way too disconnected. All right, continuing on. Let's go to this one. So things look a lot better here on mobile. And then things are still looking pretty good right here, although we need to make the text a little bit larger, I would say, for sure. Wait, what just happened? Oh, that was like an article or something. Then we get out here, and then things become problematic because things are just too sparse and spread out, too much white space and stuff like that. So I would definitely... Creating awesome SVG animation with GSAP. I'm not sure what this is. Looks like some things are broken. Either way, I like the monochromatic approach. And it looks quite simple and elegant. So yeah, looks like some things weren't loading though, so. Okay, I looked at that one. Yep, let's check this next one out. Refresh. Okay, so no animation or anything. Spilled water over myself. All right, with anyone, for everyone. A step. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not sure how I feel about this strange sort of cutout here. I almost kind of want to see it like extended all the way out to the right side of the browser. But also join us, I would make that text bold, make that stand out just a tad bit more. Assuming these are supposed to be, are these supposed to be clickable? If so, you want to do cursor pointer there in CSS. Overall, it's not too bad of a design. I'm not sure about having this here though. I don't know why that gradient's right there. I mean, if you're gonna do that, at least put a subtle different background color on the entire thing. But yeah, it's an interesting design. It is. It's unfortunate the logo's blue though, because blue really doesn't go with the rest of the design. I would like to see it just black. For the most part, it's pretty decent. All right, next up. Oh, we haven't seen one of these in a while. The crazy Vertex backgrounds. All right, so again, things look, well, notice this person here is kind of just like, look at that. No white space between these elements right here. Gotta separate those big time. And then you also don't want to be, your head doesn't want to be cut off by them either. So you need to work on the positioning here. And of course, this is mainly a CSS issue. So you're gonna want to fix that. Notice also we got alignment issues big time. So we have the logo here, starts right here. And then over here are these icons, which I wouldn't even put these right here. I want to put those at the top, put them at the bottom, if anything. And then over here, slightly over here is where the rest of the content starts. So you're gonna want to fix that for sure. Also, it looks like you are a doctor because you have like the name tag thing here. My wife's a registered nurse and she has a very similar name tag. So this is kind of confusing. You're a web designer and developer, but you look like a doctor. So I would change that. I would use a different picture. And you don't even necessarily have to use a picture of yourself at all anyhow. You're based in Cincinnati, Ohio though. I live in Ohio as well. Although Cincinnati is like a 3-hour drive, I think. All right, continuing on. Figma. Design is today, not built yet. Let me know what you think. Alrighty. All right, let's check this out. I like the big old soft, rounded, pill-shaped container here. Maybe make it a tad bit darker so that the download app text contrasts more. Let's. For the most part, yeah, like I said, same gripe up here. Maybe make this bold right there. This quality learning text, I wish I could change it, but I can't. I would make that all caps if you're going to do the extended letter spacing, and then make it slightly smaller once you caps lock that. For the most part, this is pretty decent though. Again, that card trend where you're taking these icons and then make a very light tinted color, and then using the same hue for the higher contrast icon inside of it, and then the very soft background. I do like that, and it's definitely a trend. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, I'm just noticing it. This is pretty decent. We got somebody else in here with their cursor flying all over the place. This is kind of a little bit hard on the eyes, again, just because I really don't think this would pass the contrast ratios, because they're just, it's a light blue with white text. So I darkened this up a bit. But for the most part here, this is all pretty solid. Very cool. Next up, we are operating at 51 minutes. All right, so we have a few minutes left. Front-end mentor challenges. All right. Okay, so I feel like I'm on a child's website or something, like a website built for children, just because of all the colors with these tags. So HTML, CSS, and then the JS, you can barely read because it's white on yellow. I would make those less prominent because the tags aren't that big of a deal, but they're so colorful, your eyes are drawn to that for the most part, more so than anything else. So I would just put those on like make them really light gray on the white background, and then just make the text black or pretty dark. I'd probably go I'd ease up a little bit more on the drop shadow here, maybe a little bit less contrast. All right, cool stuff. Next up. And I completely just lost where I was going. Oh, there it is. All right, let's design together today. We're discombobulated. We're all over the place right here, because stuck up here is this, which it's good it is aligned here to the left of the logo in the same column. But we have all this white space here. Take this whole section. Let's see if I can move things around here. We take this whole section, margin 5M, oh, maybe not that much, 2M on the top, and then 0 on the right, and then on the left we'll do 2M. See how much better that kind of looks? That looks a lot better than this right here. And then so I'd also probably want to resituate this idea right here. Maybe move this or this illustration in a little bit away from the browser as much as it is. That way you get it centered within this available space that you have here. And then all this blue, not quite a fan of it. I would separate your text, make it a different color, Then all these borders right here are pretty thick, and plus everything is just the same color almost for the most part. Not enough white space either. You know, you're on your way home? Yeah. All right, I'm just about to be done with this stream, so I'll see you in a bit. All right, bye. That's my wife. All right. Can you review my landing page? Yes, I can. See, this is what I'm talking about. Notice on the large resolutions, this design still works because they've made a max width and they've centered it, and it looks good. So that's what I want a lot of you to do. So, because you need to account for the fact that people have larger monitors. All right, so features, pricing, contact fact, okay. That's all pretty decent there. Decent headline. Visit the marketplace. This is all, I like this up here. This right here, I don't know about this section. I'm not a fan of having just like kind of thin sections with a background, a discernible background color. Maybe give this one a little bit more white space on the top and bottom. Maybe accompanying it with some type of icon or something like that. I'm not a fan of these illustrations though. This seems like two different design qualities, and it doesn't seem consistent because you didn't use any of these type of these templated sort of illustrations. And notice how this part of this illustration goes all the way up to the edge, like this little circle of this. So that doesn't really look good. If anything, just remove the backgrounds, like this blue background, this green background. I think it would look a little bit better. Ooh, don't use red for the get started. Because red in most contexts, in a context like this, is like a danger thing. Like, oh, don't use that, you know. So I wouldn't use red there. If anything, I might use like a real dark shade of blue. Let me show you. Let's see here, background. Not that blue. I just put it there initially so I can get something to work with. We get that background, we come down here. That's better. Or this is better. You know, there's a lot that works, but definitely don't do this. Don't do that like you had before. All right. I'm going to do one more. And who is that going to be? Right here. All right, welcome to eShop style. I don't like that. If you're gonna have a headline, don't put it like welcome. Of course the people are welcome. They know they're welcome because you made a website and it's public. Utilize this for something else, something that's gonna be more effective. I'm also not too certain I like the just kind of slapping it like a banner kind of style. So think about that. What's shop all? Like how many products do you have? Okay, so I think people are gonna wanna see more of a listing like this on the homepage rather than just having just two products. If I didn't know any better, I would just say this place sells coats or something. And nobody wants to sit here through a slider, you know, kind of looking at different products. So restructure, information architecture. Really think about what makes sense to put on your site for the most part. In terms of design, I understand the style. I mean, the contrast is there, white space is there, topography is there. Just try to think about what you should put here. Also, I don't like the how these just kind of look like product images with white backgrounds that are just kind of slapped on to like a different color background. It kind of looks strange to me. But anyhow, there's a lot of things happening right, but I just the homepage doesn't make sense to me in terms of what's being laid out. All right, awesome stuff. That is going to be it for me today. I definitely, definitely will be releasing the pre-launch. And so the pre-launch, I would say the course will be about 60% done or so at a pre-launch, and you'll get a discount for joining early, and it'll be for 1 week. And then hopefully within about 2 months after that, a month to 2 months, it will be finished. And then it will be open up to everybody for designcourse.com. So definitely go to designcourse.com to do that. Also, I'm going to be completely revamping my studio, like the space, and I'm going to be kind of completely revamping and pivoting the channel. I'm still going to be teaching UI UX design, but it's going to be crazy. I have this huge plan. Let me talk about it a little bit. Most of you have seen my channel trailer, right? Called Hello World. Most of you have seen this, right? I mean, 140,000 views just about, and I uploaded this about a year and a half ago. So I've always liked this sort of aesthetic. It's called retro wave or synth wave. It's a kind of like it's not just music, but it's also kind of like an aesthetic. And remember this character? I'm going to be doing kind of like a series where I bring him back, and it's going to be like a story set in the future, but with this retro wave aesthetic, where this character ends up teaching design through me. I'm going all out. I just bought hundreds of dollars worth of shelving. I'm going to be buying a bunch of vintage computers for the background aesthetic, another camera for another camera angle, going all out. I'm kind of excited about that. But it's going to be a while. But yeah, it's time for me to change up the channel. My growth hasn't really been, it hasn't continued for the last year or so. So I'm going to be doing something nobody's done in terms of like tutorial for anything. So I'm really, it's going to be a lot of work. Each episode, by the way, and there's probably going to be like, I'm going to aim for 8 minutes per episode. Each episode is going to randomly feature a snake, one of my snakes. I own large snakes, by the way. And also like a 15 to 30 second guitar solo of some sort. And so each of these episodes will have like that retro wave aesthetic, or tracks rather. Stream safe, where is it? So all these, I already contacted some of these people. If you go to this URL, you can contact, you can listen to all these retro wave sort of outrun. There's a lot of different sub niches, and so I have permission to use pretty much almost all of these, and I'll be soloing over some of them. But yeah, the idea is we're going to be learning UI design in order to combat an alien force in the future. Something crazy, that's all. But yeah, high production value, gonna take a lot of work. Anyhow, yeah, so that's it. Thank you for sticking by, listening to me ramble a bit, and I will see you all very soon. Goodbye.